Good evening and welcome to another video by Rideshare UK, the channel that gets under the skin of Uber. Right, on this video, we are just going to do that. We're going to go under the skin of Uber. Now, it's been just over a month now. Uber lost his London license. By the way, it's still operational, and they have also appealed, so no surprises there. But we're not going to indulge too much into that on this video. Right, so let me take you back before Uber lost his London license. Let's turn the clock back. So what was happening at that stage? Obviously, behind the scenes, things were frantic at Uberland because this London license was utmost important. They had to maintain the license. And I want to concentrate on one marketing campaign Uber enrolled in and probably spent millions on. And it's the campaign you were actually looking at on the screenshot there. Uber went on a no-hold-barred advertising campaign focusing purely on safety and like no other. This was it. There were billboards like the one you're seeing on the screen all over the country. There was a massive online campaign. There was newspapers campaign, magazine, and not at least a massive radio campaign to back all the others. So you might be asking, why am I mentioning all this? And I want to look at it on two fronts. Firstly, the adverts was actually driven to manipulate people. People's thinking on how safe Uber is. Now, this is quite important because they were doing this just before the renewing of the London license. They wanted to show everyone that was concerned in this matter that Uber was safe. And obviously the marketing strategy they was using then was, look, if you throw enough on the wall, some will actually stick on. And the second thing I want to look at also is that, and it became a bit personal to me, the way they actually run this safety campaign, the way they demonized the drivers. I never felt so humiliated. I remember once I was about to turn off the radio when the actual adverts for Uber actually came on, because the way he portrayed that the drivers were some sort of savages, and Uber was like, the savior desperately weeding them out. And it really felt embarrassing as a driver listening to this advertising campaign on the radio, and I really at that stage thought about, actually stopping working for them. It just wasn't morally right for me. This was like a moral stance I wanted to take. So to cap this video, so what I'm trying to say is this was sorry about that. Just had a call coming through the phone and it stopped me recording actually. So what I was trying to say is this campaign was purely designed to manipulate TfL. And what does this say actually about a company that's willing to spend millions and millions to get his license back? And 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 if they were so concerned about safety, wouldn't they actually still carry on with this advertising campaign? I'm sure they still do, but not to the scale prior to trying to get the actual London license. And wouldn't you run this safety campaign during Christmas time, telling riders how safe it is to use Uber as a vehicle to get you back home? This was an ideal situation for Uber to relay the safety campaign, but they didn't, not at Christmas time. It was all prior to getting the license. Okay, so also what I'm going to show you is another news event which will make you laugh. So I'll show you just that now. Okay, guys, so let's start on a cheery note. Well, let's finish on a cheery note. I want you to focus on this story, and this is a story actually of an Uber driver who refunded all his Christmas Day takings, well, his earnings, back to his customers as as an act of kindness. I think it does mention it somewhere around there that he's refunded as a act of kindness. Well, that's what it is. But whatever your views are, it doesn't really matter to me. If you think he's done a wonderful thing, great. And if you think he's a complete wally, great. That's your view. But what I want to focus is on a few finer points, a few marketing machine Uber works on, and I want you. And this is a video. I want to more focus on that. Right. So, firstly, we've established that this guy was working on Christmas Day. Now, have a look at the top left-hand corner. What day was this printed out? Now, this was actually printed on the 26th of December, Boxing Day. The day after he's refunded the riders. So let's just examine what he's done in the process. Firstly, he's refunded his riders, right? Secondly, meaning that he would have had to inform Uber, saying basically to Uber, look, can you refund these people back? Then Uber would have given him the go ahead, saying, yes, we'll give you the money back to the passengers. Now, if you're an Uber driver, you know for a fact that is not they don't come back to you straight away. It takes a bit. But this guy here, he's managed to do all this on Christmas Day. And what happens afterwards? He doesn't he doesn't stop there. He's actually managed to ring up his local paper on Christmas Day, remember? And he's managed to tell them his side of the story. And also he probably had to get authorization to get it printed. And all this in less than a day, few hours. He's managed to do all this. Amazing. So this is what it is. And now you try doing something like this and see how long it takes you to do it. But this guy's managed to do it within few hours. Okay, so let me show you something else actually. Can you see this spot here? Okay, look at this. If you want to examine it a bit more, and let's do that. So can you see here? He's actually wrote to Uber on the 25th of December at 12:37. So basically, he hasn't even done a day's work. So and when does Uber reply back? Can you see that? 6 hours later. So that would have taken him from 12:37 to 6 hours plus 6 hours, probably around 7 o'clock when Uber replies back to him. Right, so after 7 o'clock, he's managed to get this story printed for the next day. That is amazing. Now, I'm not saying Uber made the Uber actually had something behind this, but it just shows you how the marketing machine works. And I'll catch you on the next video, guys. Bye-bye now.